Hello and welcome to Jam's channel. I'm Jam, and today it's part 6 of my Tekkit Guides, and we are continuing where we left off from last episode. If you remember, we were harnessing Minecraft's natural energy, and we were also refining oil. So this week I'm going to show you what you can do with that refined oil, which is also known as fuel. What are we going to do with all this oil we've collected? As you can see, I've got quite a lot, especially in the other room. So we're going to need to do something with it. So I'm going to show you the combustion engine, because that's one of the main uses of fuel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this chest and show you what we're going to need, what we're going to use today. So we've got obviously we're going to use some electrical engines, but that'll be for later. But we've got some combustion engines. So obviously the crafting, you can find out by pressing R. So you've got 3 iron ingots at the top, glass in the middle, piston at the bottom, and 2 iron gears either side. So, yeah, let's take some out of the inventory. And we're also going to need a pump, which might surprise you. We're also going to need a lever. We're going to need glass fibre cable, an electrical engine. We can use an MFE and an LV transformer if we want to, but it's not really necessary. We're also going to need some sort of sustainable energy, so I'm going to use solar panels. And we're going to use some wooden conductive pipes, some stone conductive pipes, and also we're going to need to use some wooden and cobblestone waterproof pipes. So there's a lot to be using. I'm just going to keep that there a second. So now, combustion engines, basically they need to be cooled, because if they're not cooled, and fuel is put inside them, they will explode, so you don't want that to happen. Now you can tell when it overheats, because the engine will start to turn dark red. So in order to cool your combustion engines, you can either put buckets of water in the GUI of the engine, or you can pipe water in. Now, obviously the disadvantage of putting buckets in is that those buckets are going to run out and you're going to have to keep filling them up manually. And if you're not careful, you'll forget to fill it up, and then, you've got an explosion on your hands. So I'm going to show you how to set up a really basic system. So what we're going to do is similar to last episode, because we're going to need to put a pump. So I'm just going to get some stone just to build up a little platform like we did last week, and put the pump on top, removing that platform. I mean, you don't really need all that many redstone engines this time, or whatever engine you choose to use. So we're just gonna put, I'm just gonna use an electrical engine, and I'm gonna pop one there, if it will let me. There we go. And one there. So we're gonna need to use our waterproof pipes. So we're gonna put wooden one on top, and stone or cobblestone waterproof pipe, like so. So we're going to need some solar cells. So I've got this roof here, so I'm just going to kind of cover it with, God, dog's in the way now, cover it in solar cells. I mean, you don't really need that many, for what we're doing today, because we're only going to be using a few, probably about 3 electrical engines. Okay, so there you go, just a simple solar farm. Right, sit there, dog. Thank you. Okay, so let's pop that down. And we're just gonna pop the electrical pipe down here, the glass fibre cable. Now, if you haven't watched last episode, I would recommend watching it, because it will help explain exactly what I'm doing and why I'm using these glass fibre cables. So that's worth watching if you haven't already done so. So I'm just gonna quickly link this up to the solar cells. Okay, so we've linked them up. Obviously, all we need to do now is put a lever down, out there. But we're not gonna obviously turn it on because, you know, we don't want to be pumping water yet. And we're also gonna need another electrical engine for that wooden, if it will let me place it down properly. No, okay. So don't forget, we can change the orientation of the engines by using this particular wrench. So we just need to right click on it. There you go, it's facing the right direction. We're going to need to put, I think I might get rid of that lever if it will let me. I'm just going to build that. So we've got our pump all ready to go. We've linked it up to the electrical supply. And now we need to place down our combustion engine. So let's get it out our chest. Okay, so we're just going to put 3 blocks down like that. And we're going to put our combustion engines on top. We're only going to use three combustion engines for this exercise. And then we can remove the blocks underneath. And we're going to need some waterproof pipes underneath, some stone ones. And we'll link them all up. And we can then link that up directly to our water supply pipeline, which we've got here. So that will feed the these 3 engines with the water and keep them cooled when we turn it on. But obviously, we're going to need some fuel as well. So I'm going to change my type of pipe just to a normal stone waterproof pipe, so that I don't get the two different types of fluids mixing together. So we're going to go downstairs into where we've got our refined oil, and we're going to need to do a pipeline. There we go. So I'm going to link this up using these pipes. I can then put an electric engine or redstone engine on that in a second. But I'm just going to finish off a pipeline first, before we go anywhere. So this is obviously going to need to go to the tops of the combustion engines. So we're just going to bring it up in the air a little bit. And then we can link them directly to the top. Like so. So don't forget, make sure you're using your waterproof pipes, and make sure the 2 pipes don't touch, otherwise that'll be problematic. Now the next stage is we're going to use some conductive pipes to link up our engine. So what am I going to do with the power from these engines? Well, I'm going to show you the next stage. So we're going to build a quarry. It won't be very big, because we're just going to do it up here. So I'm going to get out the chest, some of the items we're going to need. Pop them back in. So we're going to need a quarry, and we're also need these landmarks, which you can find. Now, a landmark is just simply lapis lazuli on redstone torch. So this is finally a use for lapis lazuli, which is good. So we just need those 2, that's all we need at the moment. And basically the landmarks will determine where your quarry is going to dig. So we're just going to right click here, and we're going to right click roughly here, I think. And if we go along, we'll put one here, and then make sure it's all lined up, and put it there. I think that should be okay. Good. Now all we need to do is right click again, and that will complete the guided marked out area. All we need to do now is put our quarry next to one of the land guides, and you can see it's built this kind of checkered rope. Now all we need to do is power the quarry now. So it can obviously be powered by one or more engines, and combustion engines are the most effective, hence why we've set up our 3 here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the power from these 3 engines and link it up to our quarry here. So using our stone conductive pipes, we're just going to link it up like so. So we need to go back and put an engine on our pipeline from our oil tank. So I'm just going to pop an electrical engine on there, and we're going to connect it up to a power supply, and hopefully we'll still have enough power, although I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so we can turn that on, and hopefully we've got enough power to start pumping that refined oil, that fuel, into our combustion engines. So before it gets there, we're just going to need to turn on our pump, so that we can get our engines cooled. So we've got our water running in, and if I right click on the combustion engines, you can see it's got 2 levels. One will be the fuel level, and one's the coolant level. Now obviously you need to check that your engines are facing the right way, which mine aren't at the moment, because we need the blue bit to be facing this wooden pipe. So we're just going to use a wrench and right click on it until we're all facing the right direction. So there we go. And now what we need to do is pop some levers down and activate them. And hopefully we should see our quarry being built. So you can see it's going super fast, because we're using combustion engines. And there you go, it's already built. So you can see our 2 levels here. You can see we've got a nice high level of coolant, so we'll be fine. And we can see our oil is filling up nicely. Now we want to go and turn off the oil supply, oil pipeline, when these engines are full, because we're only going to waste fuel. The other point you can see is that, hang on, the quarry is chucking out blocks. So unless you connect it to a chest, it's going to keep throwing out blocks like this. But firstly, we're going to go and turn off the fuel pipeline, so we don't waste any of our precious fuel that we've spent hours refining. And we're going to sort out this block throwing nonsense. Right, so very simple to do. All you need is you need some wooden transport pipes, you need stone transport pipe, and then all you need is a chest. So it's very simple. So we're just going to put a double chest down, anywhere will do. We'll put a wooden transport pipe on the top, stone one, stone, stone, and link it up to the top of the chest, and hopefully you should see our blocks will go straight into the chest. Now this pipeline doesn't need to be powered because the quarry powers it for me. And now if I open the chest, you can see all the material starting to go in it. So, it's a very simple process. Obviously I would recommend setting up the chest before you turn on your combustion engines. Or you're going to have a bit of a mess to clean up. Dear, I'm such a noob sometimes. Okay. And that is how you set up combustion engines and the quarry. So the quarry will just keep digging in this format, and you can see it's getting fairly fast because we're using combustion engines. If we were to use redstone or electrical engines, it would go very slowly. Now obviously, the landmarks will specify the area at which the quarry will dig out. There is a limit, so you can't kind of quarry out the whole world, that'd be ridiculous. But I think it's a 64 by 64 grid. And each layer will probably take about an hour. with a quarry that size. But we're only doing a small one, so it's going to go fairly quickly. And you can already see we've done about 10 layers already. If a quarry hits lava, it will stop digging that particular area, and the blocks underneath it will not be mined out. But the rest of it will still be mined out, just not lava. However, you can of course pour water over the lava and turn it into obsidian. Now that can be mined, so it's probably good to keep a bucket of water on you, in case you reach lava, and then you can just pour it down the shaft. Now the quarry will stop, either when it runs out of energy, because your engines have run out, or you hit lava, or you hit bedrock. So obviously once you reach bedrock, that's going to be the furthest down you can go, so you're going to need to move your quarry elsewhere. So here's what I prepared earlier. You can see we've got a massive hole down there, and that goes straight away down to bedrock. And you can see my setup. I've got the same here, 3 combustion engines, we've got water cooling it, this is where my fuel was. And if you want to, you can actually manually fill up these tanks using buckets of fuel, just by right clicking on them. Now obviously you can go a bit more complex with the whole quarrying thing and have a fully automated process. And you can also use different pipes to sort the materials out into different chests. But that's for another time, I think. That'll be for another video. And we will end this one here. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been a helpful guide. And I'll see you for the next one. Bye!